I'm clicking go live. And you should be live. Let's check on the other screen. And if we are, then it's all yours.
I think, yeah, we are live. Hello. Hi everyone, welcome to the new scheduled episode. Today is Sunday, Jesus. As I said yesterday, we changed the schedule. We are going to be doing these things on Sundays now. I think it's even a little better, maybe like having like a week ahead, kind of view before things start to go crazy. Although now, obviously, everything is kind of crazy already. But yeah, so before we jump into the stream, once again, thank you guys for joining in. I will maybe wait just a few minutes, seconds, so more people will join in. But I know that most of you are watching this on the replay anyway. So hi guys, welcome to the Musical Chairs new episode number 23. Before we jump into the things, we would like to thank you for coming in, and we would like to thank Vu for sponsoring the streams. For those of you that don't know, but I'm pretty sure you do know at this point, since we've been shilling this on both streams and the personal accounts. Vu is the exchange, is the centralized exchange. They are partners of the stream. If you want to show some love and just show some support for the streams, you can make a new account with the link which is in the description. And after you will open your first trade, you will get tier 1 fees for the first 30 days. These are 0.015% on maker and 0.025 on the taker. So they are fairly competitive streams. The fees, it's basically almost over 50% better than you will get on any other centralized exchange. And also, since I have my personal link with Vu as well, where I offer 20% discount for the Tradingriot bootcamp and the free blueprint, you will get these things as well. So you are kind of not missing out on anything else by then. So with that being said, like I said, the link in for Vu is in the description. So if you want to show support, you can use that. To get all the benefits, you need to open the first trade. That's kind of important part. It's not enough to just make an account. You need to get verified and open the first trade. The size of the trade does not matter. Okay, so with that being said, and with the uncle jokes already coming in the chat, let's take a look at some charts. We're gonna start with BTC. Once again, I think I'm not usually the person that goes like into super high time frames. We are doing the stream once a week, so there's I don't feel like there is a much of a reason for me to like go to the monthly charts, and even the weekly charts sometimes feel like a stretch, because obviously things kind of go sideways for multiple weeks when they are at the weekly levels. But I think it's kind of worth to mentioning that we are at the in my opinion at least, we are at a very kind of decent level of resistance at the moment on BTC. I know that if you've been active on Twitter, it doesn't feel like it, and it definitely can be one of those moments where I just gonna end up having fun staying poor basically, if everything just goes 2x with ETFs and everything, which we are going to be talking about with Runner as well. But from like a technical point of view, I think we are at resistance. If you're gonna take a look at monthly chart, there's this kind of a consolidation here from February, March 2022, which led to this kind of new lockdown. So in my opinion, this will kind of act as resistance as well. I know that especially when markets are hot, people always kind of go try to just not look at the TA and everything. I still remember, and I still have this on my Twitter as well, back in 2021, like in November, when basically BTC did this, one of the simplest kind of thing, which is this kind of weekly SFP structures, when once again, we were going at 100K in one single candle back then, and I just look at this on like a higher time frames. We had this kind of monthly close at the end of the November underneath that previous highs basically, and for me that was like a very simple signal to just really start to be very careful and cut all the positions, all the long positions as well. So yeah, it's it's higher time frame chart. We are in a bull run, as everyone says at this point, and I think it's kind of justifiable. BTC, even though it was heavily sideways for 6 months, basically, it's still up over 100% on the year. So it's definitely not, I don't think we need to kind of have much of a discussion if this is in uptrend or downtrend or whatever, because at least the year to date, this is very looking very good. But at the same time, I feel like we are at this kind of on a weekly. It's pretty clear. This kind of a last level of support before the breakdown. So I'm definitely a little cautious coming into the new week. We still didn't have any kind of sign of the weakness. Obviously, if you are kind of trading, weekly time frames or higher time frames at all, I like where my invalidation would be, like looking at the monthly chart, I'm obviously not going to go short, with stop above, like 48K basically, which is like the end of this kind of monthly level. So this doesn't simply mean that I'm shorting anything or stuff like that. I'm just, like I said, being a little careful here with new long exposures. And like I said, on the lower time frames, this 12-hour chart, we haven't really broke underneath anything yet as well. So coming to the next week, if you can kind of zoom in, I think there are still some levels within this like a weekly, monthly structure that can be tested. Even like 40K would be obviously a big magnet. This kind of high point right here. But yeah, it's a little tricky at this point because BTC had this kind of grind up. I'm going to be completely honest. I wasn't long within this consolidation. I was long a little bit of the ETH, but BTC didn't really basically gave any kind of pullback since 23rd of October, since we had this kind of a upthrust to the upside. We simply just kind of grinded in this like a very clean channel to the upside. This is not the way. These are not the structures that I really love to trade. So for me, I'm pretty much flat at the moment on BTC. We had this flush last week on Thursday, but this was once again very quickly bought back up, and we are just kind of hovering at the level right now. So in my opinion, this would be more of a lower time frame traders market at this point. Really watching coming into the next week. I believe, and maybe Runner is going to correct me, we have some legacy news as well. We might have a CPI, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I don't track macro anymore. It's it is like new year, new me. I'm already front running 2024. So
yeah, but we have a CPI on Tuesday, which it's a volatility event after all. I'm not saying that there's like a huge correlation with TradFi at the moment, but some resolution from like a lower time frame range can happen during the news basically. So yeah, like I said, a little tricky on BTC. I think if we would have a decent flush to the downside, I would still kind of look to get long. Obviously, we have a ETF. We are expecting the ETF approval in the next 60 days, which is interesting, and I'm pretty sure Runner will have like a much better insight on this than me, because he has been ETF nerding a lot. But I think it's one of those situations where if the ETF is going to get approved, it's such a huge event that I'm pretty sure that like there will be like a huge candle to the upside. But after that, it might be a little bit of this kind of like a sell the news narrative, in my opinion, based on how much this is kind of being discussed, and also like we have this kind of very specific dates for it, and it's really I still, like I said, I still think that it's going to be more of like a huge candle up, and then most likely people just start to covering all this kind of run up we had recently. But yeah, so at the moment, kind of TLDR for the next week, and I believe that most of the action anyway is now happening in altcoins, which we are going to be talking about. But yeah, BTC for me at least is at resistance, and I would be looking for more like a lower time frame trades rather than being positioned for one way or another. ETH, obviously, we had a ETF news as well with the Black. It was a BlackRock, right? They
Yes.
They listed. They filed for the ETF, which there is a certain difference between filing and all these kind of different kind of processes, but was definitely led to this kind of huge bullish candle on lower time frames, and I think ETH is still a little weak. ETH BTC I think is dying a little bit again, but yeah, like if the kind of the same narrative BTC had this year is going to, with all the announcements, all the ETF updates and everything that were happening basically this year for BTC, then ETH is very likely to have something similar, since the ETF itself is like a long process anyway. So yeah, ETH is getting really interesting on higher time frames. It's basically sitting underneath this kind of weekly resistance once again, but although ETH has been decent kind of disappointment so far this year, I still think we should be kind of overshooting at least towards like 2200 range. So we are kind of sort of more than I would like, but once again, I would prefer to be long this than short, to be fair, even if we're gonna just retrace a little lower. So yeah, that's kind of my view. I know this is not something giga exciting, to be fair. Yeah, ETH BTC is kind of made this huge upthrust to the upside from like a decent level as well. So we might see kind of this continuation in ETH strength, obviously altcoins, which would mean like altcoin strength as well. But yeah, I think markets are still looking pretty good, although they are at like a high time frame resistance levels. Still no reason to go full kind of capo and try to short this to 12k or whatever. There were still no kind of signs of weakness on any kind of lower time frames, and even with order flow, I saw people today kind of bear posting on Twitter, posting about high funding rates on BTC, which I don't think I even checked all that much.
Yeah, it's pretty elevated, but
yeah, it's a little elevated, to be fair, but it's it was elevated here as well. It's kind of the thing. It's like in the trending markets, you will always have elevated funding rates, to be fair, because it's just people want to be just long, and I think I even posted about this. Like one of the big mistakes I see people do is just like trying to fade things super aggressively, especially all the Solanas and everything, just because like you have a huge increase. You can see here, for example, this kind of section in March where there was a huge spike in the OI, large increase of the open interest here, and basically everyone who kind of tried to short this, they will still get squeezed by like this basically went from like 25 to 30k before any meaningful pullback. So yeah, it's elevated, definitely. It's probably highest that we had it in a long while, but at the same time, it's still uptrending market. So this is something that you would kind of expect. To be fair, looking at BTC, like BTC would really have to kind of break underneath some of these kind of highs, and then you had something like this kind of like a big over and under setup for me to really get bearish. And I'm not really here for I'm not really kind of trying to, one of the things that I learned is not the best thing to do is just try to catch the top or bottom. I'm always kind of fairly late to the party, even ETH. Basically for ETH, like my kind of biggest position was in this kind of range right here. I completely missed the first leg up, but you will very often find that it's not really, you don't really need to be long from absolute, top or bottom. I know that, for example, this leg up in March, I was really starting to long basically right here rather than, being long from bottom as well. So it's really trying to catch like absolute tops and bottoms is basically the Twitter cloud thing rather than kind of a good trading strategy, because you still can be right, but there's a high likelihood you will just kind of get rolled over in the process anyway. So yeah, just my quick thoughts on BTC and ETH. Like I said, I think one of the more interesting things that we have to talk about are altcoins, since there's been much more things that are going on, and we have some narratives as well for the week.
Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe I'll just slowly add, not slowly, very quickly add to the BTC. Let me switch screens, because there's few things I'd like to cover from the narrative, because right, we do the narrative thingy here, while I'm the degen, quote unquote, the autist researching these things. Few interesting things for this week, or as Adam said, we're, I believe, 59 days or 60 days until the January 10th, which is expected to be the base date for. That's the last deadline for the ARK ETF thingy. But more interestingly, this upcoming week, so today's 12th, tomorrow is Monday 13th. In the 5 working days, on Friday, there's 2 deadlines for SEC to comment.
I'm watching the YouTube, and I think you're screen lagged.
No, it's not lagged. Just Coinalyze doing what Coinalyze does best, lagging. So let me use TradingView.
Okay.
So
I haven't seen any of the.
Honestly, that's why Velodata. I use my riffling.
Guys, we reinstalled Discord for this stream, so we have our tech
we've tried.
Yeah.
We really tried.
We did our best.
With Bitcoin, to me, I don't even look personal at like daily or like technical level or like horizontal lines in terms of resistances and supports. To me personally, I've done this a lot successfully with altcoins. I'm looking around these days when I expect volatility. I don't have a crystal ball. So I'm looking this Friday or before, we should get a comment from SEC around Franklin and Hashdex Bitcoin spot ETFs. They are the latest filings. Why is it relevant? Just in 1 minute before we go to altcoins. I've seen a lot of the ETF bros and Cypher, Balkunas, and Scott Johnson's, etc. They had the theory that there could be a chance that we might get the ETF before in this window. Long story short, I expect some news this week. If no news, January 10th, right? That's my base case. Okay. I do believe the sooner we get Bitcoin ETF, the higher chance of Ethereum actually picking up. Because if we get 2 more months of Bitcoin being the main narrative, a part of the few altcoins we're going to cover, I do believe BTC is probably on the way down. And the closer we get to the actual ETF Bitcoin approval, the more people will try to front run with the Ethereum thing.
Is there a kind of a case for if we are not going to get ETF by because there is this window now till 17th basically, which is the Friday. If that's not going to happen, I think it might be kind of time for a little bit of a sell-off. I feel like a lot of people are at this point kind of positioning into this kind of narrative that we are getting ETF on this Friday. So maybe that might cause.
No, it's fine. I loaded Coinalyze. Yeah. Look, I'm not a lawyer. I'm sure maybe somebody watching is like face palming like we're 2 idiots. I talked to the ETF bros in private. I'm not gonna share the details, but like luckily I'm in position where they somehow reply to my messages. And basically that's what some of them, without naming, are expecting as well. So basically this week, either or a bit of a disappointment. My problem with the ETF bros, even though like they're nice and friendly and helping us all, is they always are bulltards. They're like literally, you can have some company going under and they'll be like, oh, that's bullish for Bitcoin spot ETF chances, and like, okay. So with order flow, I think on the last thing on Bitcoin, then really like on this whole Ethereum thingy, on this move, we wiped out a lot of leverage. So this is open interest in dollar terms. I know some people prefer doing it in coins, but just like we wiped out like almost 20% of all leverage, or $1.5 billion. So I think that's always bullish to kind of negate Adam's bear posting a little bit, and same for CoinM. So all in all, even like the, I don't know if you, this like spot CVD looks like XRP. Remember when we discussed our favorite coin?
And honestly, this
thing
is like one of the bullish things when, because obviously, and I'm kind of guilty of that as well, because like I was personally hoping that Bitcoin will kind of wick into this before we had a leg up this week. I was really hoping that Bitcoin would kind of wick into that 34, 33k area. But when you kind of see how much on like a minimum, like basically this was kind of the level I was looking at this week to kind of get long into. I didn't get it, it's fine. But you see that there was this situation on I need to go to lower time frames. There was basically this kind of situation which like was one of those rally reasons. Look at this, like look at how much selling came into this, like a very small, like this down move right here, and the fact that this thing is just not giving you these kind of deeper pullbacks is actually bullish, because like there's
also,
really
sorry,
no
we have
reason.
100 people watching, 25 likes. Please leave a like, it helps a lot. I'll go. Influencer
Yeah,
life, hashtag.
so yeah, like when you have situations like these, like you can see even like before the leg up, this is November 2nd, so 10 days ago, and this was a similar case for ETH. Look how much flush of the OI we had in this kind of a decent, like not that big of a pullback. You would definitely expect, from like a price action point of view, all taking all these lows, and on ETH. On ETH that kind of happened, so this is why I was longing ETH here. But still, like these pullbacks are not deep at all, and this is one of those situations which you just kind of need to basically long into, because like take a look at this, such a small pullback here, and you're gonna wipe OI, what's this, like 7%, like 20 million OI wipe on 2% move to the downside. So when you kind of start to look into these things, this is basically quite a bullish case, because someone is really defending these kind of prices there as well.
But on the flip side, for me to kind of balance, maybe we can go then to altcoins, is like it's just overall quite a lot of leverage right now. I feel like the longer, basically, I would like to make a case, the longer, right? You mentioned basically up only for almost a month now.
Yeah.
The longer this continues, the more people are like, oh shit, I really missed the train type of situation. And when we actually get a dip, they'll be longing, like right now with the funding. So if the flush, it might be a flush that keeps on flushing. And I fear one of the days when you get like a $1 billion in liquidations.
That's to be fair, usually the case. Like when you have these, at least it was a case this year. You can see, this is the ETH Shanghai upgrade, whatever. There was this day in July. I don't know what actually happened here, but you can see basically where on ETH we had these, 40% increase in OI in like 2 days. This was 30% in 1 day. We had another 30% in basically 1 day as well. So historically this year, obviously, kind of narrative change. The whole market is in an uptrend, but at the same time, something that kind of is worth to paying attention to that, throughout the year. And, like ETH still can do something like this and be like omega bullish, like we don't need to go to $1,000 from here. But, when we had these huge increases in the OI, especially on ETH this year, there's another one basically right here. It was always this kind of a correction to the downside, at least a little bit, basically.
Yeah, let's move on to altcoins. So I think we're kind of like, look, trend is up. ATF is coming. We believe it's probably leaning towards the sell the news. And if Bitcoin dominance keeps going up, if BTC keeps going down, if Bitcoin fires 5% down, all your altcoins are going down 30%. And I'm omega long altcoins myself, so it's not like I'm poking fun, but it's like if you're long and shit happens, you probably better be very quick or trade.
Yeah, you can see on a lot of these altcoins, like the wicks that happened, during that time. So I believe Thursday when BTC basically did this candle right here, you'll take a look at a bunch of these coins that had like 20% wicks to the downside. That's basically crazy. So
like if you're leveraged, you're wiped out.
Yeah, and this, luckily for a lot of people, this got bought back this time. So it's all nice and easy, but there, I'm pretty sure, and even if we are in a uptrend or whatever, there will be some sort of correction, and once that is not going to get bought back, then the altcoins will flush obviously much slower. And I think I don't have it here, and I'm not sure if I will be able to quickly find it on Livetos as well. Let me just try to do this very quickly. Jesus, I need to sign in. So
I'll go to my screen for now, and you tell me when you're done. Sure. One of the big narratives, I'll just I guess, try to entertain people. Lol. One of the things I'm personally looking at, I would like to start with the more quote unquote serious altcoins or like bigger market caps, is Matic. Matic, Polygon. I honestly don't even know what exactly is happening because I just know Sandeep. Because if I'm not mistaken, nobody really knows. It's one of those like Sandeep, the CEO, basically tweeted just 2 dates. November 9th and November 9th, 14th is in 2 days, so this Tuesday.
What happened on November 9th, actually? I don't think I paid that much of an attention.
I believe there was, we pumped hard, but also we had that BlackRock ETF volatility show. So I think
I completely kind of missed the tweet which he had about actually the news that he was teasing.
Yeah, look, I think I was also I did not trade it. It's just something I wanted to pinpoint that I expect for the next days.
Yeah.
Matic, obviously, they have the rebranding thing to, what is the name?
Yeah.
Paul?
Yeah, they are going to be rebranding. It's supported by all the exchanges, so they will just change the token name 1-to-1. I don't think there is anything you should be kind of paying attention to too much, but it's at the end of the day just reason to maybe pump a little bit.
I mean, it already is, right? But also maybe to kind of combine it with PA and technical analysis, something you teach in your courses. Use the link in the description. Is that Matic on weekly chart, I think is at a very key pivotal point.
Yeah.
You can make a bull and bear case. Basically Chainlink look kind of similar, right? Almost a 2-year. Obviously this is a bit different, but I don't know. And I know one thing, when Matic trends, it tends to go crazy. Yeah. So let's see how it does. Obviously it's a layer 2 and the ZK narrative at the same time.
So yeah, there's that. There's also a conference which is in India at the start of December. One of the few kind of conferences which are still happening this year. Which it's such a kind of dumb narrative, to be fair. I always think it's just a little stupid, but you saw AI coins, how much they rallied basically coming into these conferences. People just trying to basically catch kind of anything that has this kind of possibility of the bullish news. But yeah, I think Matic is actually looking very interesting, and if you then switch to my chart, I can kind of show you some of the things that I've been looking at. Yours. Yeah, okay. So first of all, I have just this chart to kind of drive the point with the OI. This is from Livetos. You can see that
I believe you're frozen, so let me do our thing that we...
Am I frozen?
No, it's from my end, so...
Okay, we had a nice run of 28 minutes before going down.
We have a fix for that though.
I can still see my... Oh no, it's... bear with us.
I believe we might be back. I don't know.
He hung up on me.
Yeah, I told you that's the solution.
Are we good?
Nope. 1 moment. Classic.
We are not good.
Stop sharing screen. We nuke the call as always.
I don't know if you can hear me, to be fair, at this point. Okay,
yeah, it's working now. Perfect.
Are we back? Nice, we are back. Okay, nice. So, yeah, face revealed. So if you're gonna take a look at this, I think, yeah, nice. So yeah, this is just to drive the point across about the OI. You can see basically at the moment, there is, it's not a the high block high block chart with 700 trillion open interest to be wiped, but you can see basically here on live as we can see the breakdown. This is on Binance only. I'm gonna go to global. There is basically, you know, over 65% of the open interest across all these kind of centralized and decentralized exchanges in BTC and ETH. This just kind of makes you wonder that, you know, if BTC is going to correct, how much of these altcoins are going to actually flush when, you know, shit hits the fan, basically. Because you can see, for example, Matic, we are talking about now, has only a 0. You know, like only 200 million OI. So yeah, just kind of this kind of be careful point of view. But yeah, with that being said, I think Matic is looking pretty good. If things going to continue, like Runner said, we are at this kind of a key weekly level. We are also at the yearly VWAP. So if this is going to flip, basically I would look at the flip of the yearly VWAP. Very similar scenario happened in the one of the things that I traded with Render back in start of October. You know, you can see how we kind of rallied to the yearly VWAP, stopped for a bit, then flipped it, you know, made the next leg up. So Matic is looking very similar at this point. From the order flow perspective, there is at the moment kind of a decent sell wall above the price, and we filled some of these longs that were kind of hanging here. This is I think today actually. So, you know, if we would basically break above this sell wall, you know, this would be very clear sign that there is this actual demand. This is spot Binance market, so this is not some of the perps. So yeah, this on the Matic, if you would just make a next leg up, I think with all the things that are coming, I would be definitely trying to bid this a little bit. And still, you know, Matic is one of these bigger coins, basically, which I think it could rally to like 1.12 at least, basically towards kind of these highs right here.
You know, it's bad when me and you are making price predictions.
yeah, but
peak bear market.
Yeah. It's you know, I think it's like one of those things where you kind of, and we can see this with, I think it's very interesting from like the whole rally is that there is like a huge difference between how different coins are performing. You know, like if you're gonna take a look at a bunch of these layer ones, you know, you will clearly see some like underperformers and some things that perform very, very well. So it feels like, you know, that like when the kind of money is going to flow in, these things can run kind of by themselves, as long as BTC is not obviously going to do like 10% correction in a day. That would kind of suck for any longs. But yeah, Matic is definitely something that I would be watching for the next week. You know, it's a nice technical setup as well. They are doing the rebrand, they are teasing some shit in 2 days, which, you know, is usually sell the news type of moment, which, you know, but you know,
let's talk about that, because I think like this stream is obviously like 20 something episodes now, and me and you obviously not the best bulls, but I think we acknowledged it even last time that like Near had the conference, right?
That's
and it's still strong, right? So let me put it quickly so I can let the smarter person speaking, which is you, is when in bear market we would be shorting or selling the news, a lot of times these narratives still run even after the actual catalyst takes place. So it might be like a good place to take profit, but they sometimes tend to continue. That's all.
That's true. I would kind of say that, and something that I haven't done last week, which I definitely should have, like this is the Near conference, right? Like this high. We had a decent correction. The AI coins, obviously we had this flush on BTC as well, but I would say that like the whole kind of approach that we did a lot, you know, kind of this buy rumor, sell the news type of thing, it still works to a certain extent, you know, but these things are just getting bid up again, you know, even XRP, and I think XRP is not doing all that great at the moment. Yeah, like XRP had the swell, had the SEC thingy here, you know, it was still decent short. Like with all that's going on, I would just, you know, something that I just, you know, wanted to mention, that there were nice opportunities, and especially Near flushed a lot. But you can basically see we are now breaking back above these kind of.
But it was the BTC thing on Thursday, right? So maybe it's just like a result of like books being super liquid, which I believe has always been the case for something like Near.
Yeah, but like I know, for example, Render. It had the, this is basically the conference was started at 2nd, I believe. So even here, like there were, like I just, I don't want to be going too in depth on this, because especially since I wasn't trading it at all. But even with the BTC flush, these were fairly weak in this kind of a post event window still. So I don't think the kind of edge in this is just completely gone, to be fair. But this is just like a small note from me. Like I said, I haven't really traded these, and at the moment, yeah, Near is also looking fairly decent.
But also maybe to add to that point is we can finally talk about the musical chairs, which is the name of the episode, right? Because we kind of memed it in January, February when we started this show. Is you always see these rotations, right? So we've seen quite a lot of strength in layer ones, which is like as you're watching your watch list, with the exception of like Atom. Maybe even Atom is not that bad, or Phantom and Dot and BNB. But like basically, if you were to basically pinpoint the 25 strongest altcoins and put them also in the categories, I think layer ones is probably the strongest. I don't know, like I didn't do the maths, but it's a lot of the beta or like basket rotations, right? So if people were here in like March might remember, we had the AI coin season, we had the GameFi, we had layer ones, we had we had even China coin. Like Adam was actually tweeting as a Chinese girl for 2 weeks.
On the OnlyFans. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
I just feel like we might be getting that a little bit, and that's why I'm kind of big on ZK. I might be completely wrong, but my thing with ZK is it used to run back in the day, and it didn't really run this sub-cycle, I guess. So that's my 10 IQ explanation why I'm long ZK.
Yeah, and
Top
like
signal.
a lot of like layer ones especially are still fairly liquid. These are like not complete shit coins. They have a how to say it nicely, some big CT accounts supporting them, which is driving a price a lot. So yeah, they are still a lot of big names favorites, basically, which can influence the price as well a lot. So yeah, layer ones, layer twos, optimism is up a lot. With we have a DevConnect conference starting tomorrow, which
BitConnect.
Funnily enough, it's mainly ETH conference, and ETH is still kind of not that insane over the weekend, at least. Comparing this to optimism, but basically seems like people are just playing this kind of higher beta coin. And yeah, there is not all that. I don't know. Like for next week.
How about the Upbit thing?
Yeah, there is the Upbit conference, but that's like a lot of. I send you some of the things about it. It's a little bit too much of a shitcoining, I would say.
So we wanna stay away from lower market cap stuff. Yeah.
But I can talk about it. Like people maybe can do some of the due diligence and some of the things that I was looking at without actually saying the name of the coins. I'm going to be 100% honest. The idea that I sent you, I saw it somewhere. It wasn't my kind of a.
Wow, you wouldn't steal an idea, right?
Yeah,
You're on CP.
Yeah, I stole idea from one of the great, kind of very nice Twitter accounts. I would say I can shill it as well. It's layer.gg is like a news type of account. Basically, there is a Upbit conference happening since I think from tomorrow until 15th or something like that. And like Upbit has this huge history that everything that's get listed, especially in the Korean won. Yeah, and actually someone look at that. Someone in the chat just posted the coins that I wanted to talk about and that I was looking at.
Yeah, so that guy, House Chaos or
yeah. So now I can
sharp.
Now I can say it, and now if this is not going to play out, it's not my fault. It's this guy's fault because he shielded in the chat basically. But yeah, these two coins especially. Basically, the thing is, and the Layer GG account, they made like a fucking spreadsheet with like showing all the coins that took part in the conference and which have the BTC pairs on the upbit and the Korean won pairs, and basically the Aster and IOTX are the coins that they both have the CEOs speaking at the conference, and they do not have the Korean won pair listed on at upbit at the moment. My only issue with this is that in the spreadsheet there is also a column that shows like how many days after the conference the coins get those pairs listing, and like people at like a first glance, that because it said like there is like 70% chance that the coin will have the Korean won listing after the conference, but a lot of these coins were listed like 100 days after the conference or 2 months after the conference. So that's the only thing I don't like it. But obviously both of these things are pumping quite a bit. This is especially Aster is going up quite a lot. It's looking really good, to be fair. It's like breaking from this kind of yearly VWAP structure at the moment. If once again doing some simple line drawing, we had this kind of level which is was capping the price, so basically flipping SR. So yeah, I really like these. Like I said, only issue is that the listing can happen just much later than a lot of people would basically anticipate. But yeah, this is definitely something interesting to look for the next week. And I think both Astra and IOTX are also listed on Binance, so you don't need to really go into some like deep fucking woods of shit basically to try to trade these. The IOTX is underperforming a little bit at the moment compared to Astra, but
man, I'm gonna close all my longs. There's people literally shilling their on-chain shitcoins in our chat, out of all people. So
this one has like a huge cult at this point. People, it's whatever. I don't really trade these. Anyway, so yeah, but yeah, these two coins with the Upbit conference, Upbit has this huge history that everything gets listed there. These people go absolutely fucking insane into the longs. So
and you have like arbitrage opportunities when they stop withdrawals, and it's trading at like 10x premium.
Yeah,
they call it kimchi premium for those interested.
It's just everything is just like so overextended at this point. I just hate all these charts because obviously you just it's really this kind of. I sent you the Astra yesterday, basically yesterday evening. I sent you the message, and this thing is up 15% already today. So,
but in a way, I don't want to encourage this type of behavior, but I guess I'm already doing it. I'm not encouraging it, but in a lot of ways, sometimes you just see shit, you market buy and research later, and it, like when you're relatively early speaking, obviously, which is how do you digest that, right? But like. A lot of times me and you discuss these trade ideas and we're like, oh, let's sleep on it and like talk in the morning, and we check in the morning, it's up 25%. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, this is like the case with the Astra basically. Like I sent you this like yesterday around midnight. I woke up today, it's up 15% already. So I'm like, yeah, fuck me, dude. I haven't longed it. So.
And we'll talk about this next week when it's 10x from here.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Oh, Solana, good point. We forgot our strongest.
Yeah, we have I haven't updated the watch list yet. Solana. Listen, I'm going to, I think with all the single lines drawing on the chart, I think Solana is like super overextended at this point. I don't know. I like this can go higher, but like fuck me. I just don't want to. Like I wouldn't definitely buy here. We hit this kind of $60 mark. On the weekly chart, if you're gonna look at this, I think this can easily go to like $75, $80, like without an issue. But yeah, on like a daily chart, I have a horizontal line here, so it must mean its end basically. No, but yeah, Solana is like
unstoppable.
Really, unstoppable at this point. And but even like yesterday,
wouldn't short it. I would just start it with please don't short this.
We have these kind of a candles, when things go like insane like this. We had this kind of especially Saturday, afternoon. We had this like 3 hours of just like this basically went up 15% in 3 hours. These high relative volume candles, basically this is like people blowing up completely. The spreads are insane on this. These are usually kind of signs of slowing down. I don't have the runner's new favorite H4 trend indicator here, but even if you're gonna look at the lower time frames, something that I like to draw the lines, as I have these kind of unfilled dreams of drawing. But you can see basically you are kind of holding up all these kind of structures. And even yesterday we had this huge blow off to the upside, retraced basically this kind of last consolidation, because you need to think about these why these fucking I'm gonna say order blocks, supply and demand blocks, whatever you want to call them. Why these work is that obviously people that are causing this shit, this kind of blow off tops or whatever, they are buying here. People with like a large sums are not going to buy into this, because into move like this, and I'm going to like when things move like this, you are not going to get filled that much of a size, because things are just super fast. You will get slipped. It's just like shitty place to execute the trade overall. So people that drive these moves are buying basically here. So, and you can see basically yesterday we retraced this a little bit, but then we bounced from this original area, because obviously you have like unfilled limit orders from these peoples and so on and so forth. So now we have this kind of a little bit of a lack of follow through, but I wouldn't really short Solana as long as kind of this holds. And even if I would short underneath that, I would be super conservative with the target. I would maybe just target like 45-ish, something like that.
Let's not discuss shorting the strongest asset in entire crypto.
Yeah.
It's like
I think this is definitely like case which is like days ahead, and even then probably if this is going to look like shit, there will be better shorting opportunities than something which is up.
Yeah, like
a lot.
What I want to say, I do believe we'll see, like, if there's any massive correction with altcoins, for some reason I do believe it would be led by Solana. By that I don't mean Solana dumping the most, I mean Solana causing the sell-off in altcoins. I believe we had one of those earlier this year. I don't know, maybe I'm just rambling, but it's look, like we're in aggressive uptrend. Just there's absolutely zero reason to short the strongest altcoins. There's so many better shorts if you were to short, and Solana is not it. I don't care if this is a local top from like risk management. How to say it? You know what I mean? Like yeah, to minus 40. What the fuck?
I'm just. This is my new 1,000 like engagement post on Twitter after the stream ends. Basically, just to let you know. So I hope you will all be there to kind of support me on this journey, because I obviously missed the long a lot. So now the only thing that I can make it right is just boost my dopamine on something like this. Yeah, sorry, continue.
I do believe he kind of, I'm trying to think, there's one coin in your watch list that has also confidence, but small cap and it's up a lot, and I don't really like it. The bottom one.
Oh yeah, the
fuck me.
Guild games, yeah. Yeah, we've been it's fair to say we've been trying last week.
No, I mean I made a bunch of money, but like if I now see the price right now and I do the same quick maths,
yeah, I think to be fair, we kind of missed the optimal entry. Like once again something that we've been little lagging on getting ahead of, because I kind of saw the conference news for the last month, but I completely ignored it because is the DWF coin in my head, and I don't care, and all of that. But obviously we had this like the cleanest fucking SR flip on like baby pips technical analysis for dummies setup. But yeah, there is a conference in 10 days?
On 18th it starts, so like Sunday, Saturday, I don't know.
And yeah, like it's not only YGG, it's the gaming coins. I think Send is looking the best from all of these. I think Ape is fucking cursed. I hope he's goes to zero. Then you have Xyz. Xyz has this closed beta thingy launch in 8 days as well. They are, I don't know, launching the game for the resting 7 people that are actually playing it. But yeah, Send is looking decent, to be fair,
Look,
and they are all part of the YGG conference. So,
I would
and
put
people,
it. Yeah, sorry,
yeah,
apologies.
sorry.
No, you
No,
go.
I just wanted to say that like people are all over, like something that I saw on Twitter as well, and the Chaos is saying it as well. The gaming narrative is strong, which seems to be kind of like a very common agreement on Twitter as well. I don't know. I just, and this is once again me going completely fucking mid curve on this, but I just, yeah, like crypto games overall. I don't know, but yeah,
I mean,
like
me and you are
people,
too old for games, anyways. Like, we should be having
yeah,
children, not this shit, you know.
but yeah, yeah, Send is looking very nice. YGG, I have a perhaps I think this chart is better. Yeah, like
And
this
it's
can really
smaller
run.
market cap, so like if you want to be like
Yeah,
actual degen, look, maybe on the
yeah,
chaos actually making a lot of good points, I think, but we're not fading. We're not fading in terms of like shorting. I luckily we're in market conditions where you really can pick what you want to long, which I think is awesome because like in bear markets you might have like one category of coins doing well, so if you don't long them you're kind of stuck in the mud, which is also fine, not doing nothing. But like right now I've been trading a lot of coins that nobody talked about on CT, and if they start talking about, I basically 2x my money on the position, because like, you know, that's how easy the market is. And I don't
yeah,
think you need to be trading what you see on CT, because like obviously all these, again, I'm not gonna be like just like Adam's not gonna drop names, but when you're like in this circle jerk, trust me, you might make, and you'll make money, but you're definitely not early. So let's just make that clear. So you want to be kind of ahead of the curve, which is a cope in itself. But if you are, the PNL or like percentage return of that trade will be substantially bigger if you are able to. Of course, that's like hypothetically speaking. And there's a lot of stuff happening, but you see it on CT weeks later, right? So it's like there's a lot of room for you to grind, sit down, and do some research. What is like traded on whatever exchange you use, and just, you know, if you wait basically for CT to tell you, here's my watch list, I'm longing this, wink, wink, like, you know,
yeah.
you're
Usually
just
way too late, and even now with like, I think we were very used to for like a lot of these trades, like what we've been doing kind of in the last few months. Like you had a lot of time to, you know, like there was this conference, and you just kind of started looking at these like few days ahead. But now, you know, you really need to be on top of everything way more ahead, basically, because there is kind of a risk on appetite, and the volatility is much higher.
But at the same time, just to kind of not to be total
Yeah.
bull, is let's say people, all CT is talking right now about whatever Solana, Celestia, but maybe you find something that has a catalyst a month ahead, right? But at the same time, you always have to respect Bitcoin price action, and like you cannot just go blindly long some leverage altcoin, because like if Bitcoin whatever ETF rejected, delayed, you cannot be stuck in your altcoin. Just
Yeah.
kind of like I would always keep that Bitcoin thing as your how to say it, like not daddy what, but like, you know, your main decision maker.
Yeah. I just want to quickly talk about the GameFi thing. The Chaos mentioning that there is a independent, if the real world adaptation. To be fair, I looked at this quite a bit. Like it's been few months. Definitely, it was like a last year thing that I was looking at it, because, you know, there was a point on CT where the GameFi was really the biggest thing that ever happened, which will lead us to the all-time high. Like people fucking hate crypto games from like a TradFi. You know, if you're gonna take a look at all these like game devs, if you're gonna take a look at all like big streamers, you know, like guys like Asmongold that has like, you know, like 50,000 people watching his streams or whatever. I don't know, but like generally like normie kind of gaming audience, like they usually hate crypto games because all these kind of monetizations, you know, like in the games, like in the gaming world, people are usually against, you know, microtransactions. I saw like a video from like a game dev which is like 2 hour long, how, you know, this is all ruining the money aspect, this is all ruining these kind of things. So I would be little too careful on this, because like I said, you know, there was this really, you know, on CT especially, this kind of a point of view that, you know, the crypto games are the next huge thing. But if you're really going to look at like what all these big names, because you, at the end of the day, you need to have all these kind of influencers and game developers and everything to support this kind of stance. And I think, one of the big issues when it comes to games in the last few years has been, microtransactions and basically trying to monetize every single thing in games, which for a lot of people still are this kind of a free time activity. So yeah, it's just kind of my point.
But it might happen, right? Like, unironically, the industry is, me and you specifically,
like
we're not very long-term stuff.
Yeah, at the same time, like Xyz, for example, when it rallied back in like this shit, like 2021, this basically went into this huge move to the upside. Obviously when people in the third world countries, I think the Xyz team is from Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken, like people living in the countries like this, and even GMT, the fucking shoe thing.
Yo, running thing, not shoe thing.
Yeah. Like when people, can make, $100 and more a day by just playing a game or just go for a run, then, they will obviously very quickly change.
Just for a run?
Yeah.
Why don't you run?
They will very quickly change the anti-monetizing view, when you actually can make a lot of money, especially if you are from the countries where, making $100 a day is significantly higher than you can kind of make doing anything else. Basically, I think you mentioned something about GMT. I don't know why I opened the chart in the first place, but
it looks really good. Yeah,
it looks
some
really
narrative
good
in December, but I just cannot be fucking bothered.
But it looks really good, and I will just going to remind you this in a couple of weeks when it's trading at like 35 cents.
Look, GMT, Steppen, if there's anybody watching, I'm running fuck ton. Sponsor me. I'll be your biggest CT. Like, I actually am a product market fit. Reach
you
out
would
to
be basically
me.
like, at this point, you would be probably like top 1 leaderboard person, since, based on how many people are actually using the app.
I mean, because there's literally nobody running, so...
Yeah. You would make way more money than any of our referral links for the streams ever.
Like, man, I'll buy 10 phones. I don't care. I can run with a 50-kilo backpack so I can finally feed my kids. Maybe on the gaming, crypto gaming stuff. Problem is, I think we'll have a good games when it's actually a good game. When people play the game with the, like, wow, this is actually a good game, and not, I'm playing the game because I might get an airdrop. I play the game because I'm getting tokens. Like, like your incentivization is the monetization. Wow, good rhymes.
That's also kind of the thing. Like, the games look shit in the first place, and it's like sort of a joke based on like how much money these teams got in like token sales and everything. You are talking about way more money than any other indie game studios ever got. Even like the fucking like big names, like the budgets these guys had at least in like 2020 2021 from all the token prices and everything, and they were not able to deliver, in my opinion, on anything. Like Xyz, it's fucking Tamagotchi game. At the end of the day, you just feed like monsters or whatever. So yeah,
and it's innovation is great, right? I believe there's something that's gonna stick. It's just, we've seen these cycles, and I would not get married to it because I see people, like, I don't know about you, I used to play MMORPG games, like, I have like 10,000 hours in Lineage, Ion, like, I play them all, and you get like kind of, you do this dumb fucking farming, it's completely waste of your time, but you still log in next day and do 6 hours of farming. It's like, it's really like mental illness at that point.
Yeah. I think this is interesting, to be fair. I'm going to show you the screen. Obviously, one of the bigger kind of implementations of the NFT, gaming. I don't think Parallel has a token, so you
it does.
Or there's some sort of like a DAO type of thing. It's only traded on DEXs.
Brother, I lost money on this shit, so there is a token.
But yeah, and even like I used to play the World of Warcraft a lot, like since vanilla, since I was like fucking 12, and I sometimes play even these days. And I really can see how people like hate all the kind of microtransaction and all the monetization that is coming to that as well. But yeah, I saw the Parallel is coming to the Steam, so this is like the first. And the game, it's a card game, but it looks, okay.
It has a token, but maybe let's not. Like me and you talking about on-chain is definitely a peak on top of everything.
Yeah. It's more like a gaming thing than gambling on-chain, basically. Yeah, but Other than that, I'm sure you will be very happy about this, but our new token, Celestia.
Fuck you, dude.
Runner had a decent position, but
Like I was balls deep long at like 2.28 average or something.
Yeah. But yeah, this was a nice setup as well. I don't know why I haven't traded it at all. I haven't just looked on Friday because this, kind of a huge volume flush under these lows. Yeah, like you fumbled the bag. I'm even dumber because I believe last week on the stream I said something that I'm waiting for a ARP play, which is exactly what happened. ARP, if you're gonna kind of compare it to ARP, when it rallied for the first time, is like exactly the same thing, but I was just, I don't know, like this, you're gonna flush the kind of initial lows. Basically this on ARP is the same thing that happened on Celestia this week. So yeah, completely, we just did what we do best, which was like fucking up the easiest trades ever. But yeah, I think there is a lot of hype about this still, and I think it should be it's one of those things which I mentioned previously, and we kind of agreed upon that the tokens which have no PTSD history and this on top of everything should be a solid project. It's not like some VC scam, huge scam. There is like some tokenomics inflation thing that's a little above my knowledge, but. Yeah, I think this can be a good performer, and if we manage to get pullback ever, maybe into like $250 area, could be a good long.
Can you please change the chart to anything? Thank you. Like thanks for reminding me. I left like 6 figures on the table.
Okay, really so I'm going to just change it to XRP, which.
Dude, I'm okay.
Okay, we've been.
I'm calling your uncle right now.
Okay, we've been live for an hour. We kind of agreed upon that we're gonna keep these within the hour.
Yeah.
If you guys have something amazing that we should look at, not something that has like $2 million daily volume, that. But yeah, if there is not anything you guys want to see, once again, I'm pretty happy how we kind of kept it.
Yeah, I like today's episode. I think it was nice.
The last hour, we had a bunch of things to talk about. So yeah, I think, dude, what the fuck is Rio? Rio is in Brazil. That's all I know about Rio. So yeah, it's probably ever since I asked Chad, it's just time to end it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great.
Yeah, and someone's saying Vu in Silico. Yeah, that's obviously a next.
I mean, in Silico is the CEO, so.
Yeah.
Did you
know? About arguing about the shilling exchanges? Yeah, sure. Lido also, dude. Like, there are just things that I do sincerely believe that are just cursed tokens, and Lido is definitely one of them. But the chart is looking good.
Yeah, I have on my screen right now. But it's
you can switch.
I mean, it's LSD, AS, beta.
Yeah.
It's really
but I'm just pretty sure this is going to find a way to fuck up with everyone before actually moving to the upside. So yeah, I think we can slowly kind of end the stream here. I'm going to do one more round of shilling, obviously, to piss off all the people. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, thanks Vu for sponsoring the streams. If you want to show us support and just use the Vu link in the description. And once you make a new account and open the first trade, and once all that is done, you will get a better maker and taker fees for the first 30 days, and you get all my personal benefit codes. I don't even know at this point. Yeah, you will get all the discounts.
You'll become friends with benefits.
Yeah, you'll become. I will send you some nudes, and you will also get free access to Blueprint and 20% discount for the bootcamp. With that being said, Runner is having his usual trading view end of the stream meltdown with just opening bunch of different coins.
No, somebody asked about Elrond, but we're gonna end it. They had a conference, that's it, just like last year.
Okay, yeah.
Have a great Sunday.
Thank you guys for watching and see you next Sunday.
Bye bye.